A very good morning to all. In today's video, we will be learning some of the terms related to wave motion. So here is a graph showing you the wave motion of a sound. We know that sound is a form of a longitudinal wave, okay, and it travels in the form of compression and rarefaction as well as in the form of crest and trough, okay. So the graph can be plotted with the two axes y and x. Okay, the graph can be either displacement time graph or the displacement distance graph. So here I am considering displacement and distance graph. Okay, so the very first term that we are going to deal with is amplitude. What is amplitude? Let this be a graph. Okay, and this is the wave motion. So what is amplitude? This is the mean position. So amplitude can be defined as the displacement of the particle from its mean position. Now since the particle is moving to this point, the maximum displaced to this point, from here it is maximum displaced to this point, from here to this, from here to this. So this maximum displacement is only known as amplitude, and this can be taken on either side. The next is time period. We know that this is the graph plotted by a wave motion. So what is time period? The time taken by a wave to complete one vibration. What is one vibration? Since it is starting from this, so one half motion and the other half motion. Together this makes one vibration, okay, and one vibration is such that it completes one circle. So the time taken to complete this one vibration is just known as time period. And then what is frequency? We studied that the time taken to complete one vibration is time period, and therefore the number of vibrations covered in 1 second, that is if 1 second 3 vibrations are made, 1, 2, 3, then frequency is 3 Hz. If 5 vibrations are made, then 5 Hz. So simply what we do, we simply count the number of vibrations made in 1 second, and that gives you the frequency. Is that clear? Now the next is wavelength. What is wavelength? If this is the pattern of the wave motion, what is wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between the two alternatives pattern, either the compression or the two rarefaction. So this is one upward motion, this is the other upward motion, and the distance between these two is known as wavelength, which is represented by lambda. The next is what is wave velocity? We know the term velocity and speed. It was the distance per unit time. It was the distance per unit time. Therefore, what is wave velocity? Here, the wave velocity is defined as wavelength per unit time. Wavelength per unit time is wave velocity. Is that clear? Now, what is the relation between wavelength, wave velocity and frequency? So now let me tell you what are the terms that we generally use to represent these wavelength, wave velocity and frequency. Wavelength is represented by lambda, wave velocity by v, and frequency by n or nu. This is nu, okay, this is nu. So these are the notations that we use to represent the following terms. So here what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss between the relationship between wave velocity, wavelength and frequency. Okay, so since we have lambda L, this is the distance, okay, this was the distance traveled by one vibration. Okay, now from the formula of distance, what we have, distance is equals to speed into time. Here we are considering speed as wave velocity and distance as wavelength. Therefore wavelength, that is distance, is equals to speed, that is wave velocity represented by v, into time. Okay, so what we have here is lambda is equals to v into t, where lambda is wavelength, that is distance, v is wave velocity and t is time period. Is that clear? So what we have lambda is equals to v into t. But here we are not using time period. What we are using is frequency, and we know that frequency is the reciprocal of time period. We know that frequency is the reciprocal of time period. Therefore we have, what we can use, we had lambda is equals to v into t. Therefore v is equals to lambda upon t, that is lambda into 1 by t, or instead of 1 by t we can write v is equals to lambda into n. So this is the relation of wave velocity, wavelength and frequency. Instead of n we can write nu like this, or frequency f. Okay, so this is the relationship. Now let us study the speed of sound in different media. We know that speed of sound depends in the medium it is traveling. So basically on the two factor it depends. One is elasticity of the medium and the other is density of the medium. Elasticity of the medium is generally represented by E and density of the medium is generally represented by rho. Density of medium means the speed. If the medium is denser, the speed of sound, speed of sound will be more, and if the density is less, the speed of sound will be less. Therefore we can see that the speed of sound decreases as we move from gas to solid, because solid is more denser. Therefore the speed of sound will be more in solid, then less in liquid, and least in gases. As the density of gas decreases, therefore we have that the speed of sound depends upon density. We know that speed of sound is very less than the speed of light, because what is speed of light? Speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, whereas speed of sound is 330. It is 2 less than the speed of sound. Therefore this can be the consequence that whenever there is a thunder and lightning, light is seen much earlier. Okay, during thunder light is always seen much earlier than the sound is heard. So why is it so? Because speed of light is more, it reaches to us very earlier than the speed of sound. Okay, so the spectator watching a cricket game, they hear the sound of a strike later than the batsman is seen actually making it. Okay, so why is it so? Whatever they are watching, they will be able to see it first and then the sound of it, because of the speed's variation. Now, what are the factors affecting speed of sound in gas? I have already explained you that the density, if the density of medium is increasing, then the speed was increasing. But in gas, it is entirely different. In case of gas, if the density of gas is increasing, in case of gas, if its density is increasing, then the speed in that particular gas will decrease. Okay, so in case of gas, the speed of sound is inversely proportional to density, inversely proportional to the square root of density. Means if density is of gas is decreasing, speed of sound will increase. The second is effect of temperature. Here again, the speed of sound in gas increases with the increase in temperature of gas. If we increase the temperature of gas, then the speed of sound will increase. Then effect of humidity. The speed of sound increases with the increasing humidity. Then effect of direction. We already know जिस direction में wind flow होगी उसी में आपको sound भी सुनाई देगा. So these are the factors on which the speed of sound and gas depends. And the factor on which it is not depending is pressure, amplitude and wavelength. If pressure increases, there is no change in the speed of sound. If amplitude varies, again it remains unaffected. And if wavelength, then again they do so. They are not depending on pressure, amplitude and wavelength. They are simply depending on temperature. If the temperature increases, speed of sound increases. Density, if density of gas is increasing, then the speed of sound in gas will decrease. If the humidity will increase in air, obviously the speed of sound will increase. And lastly, the direction of the wind. Hope this video have cleared your doubt to much extent. Thanks for watching this video.